On this week's episode of A Drier Dose of Disney, Jared has special guests with him to kick off the food series at the Disney and Universal parks.
Welcome to another episode of A Drier Dose of Disney. I'm your host, Jared Drier, and today we've got two special guests with us here on the episode. We've got my great friends, Kent and Katie, and I have actually known you guys for a really long time. Katie, almost my entire life. You guys are great friends of ours, and in fact, if you've listened to the podcast, most of the listeners know that we actually just got back from a trip in October from Disney World, and you guys were there with us, so
it was a fun time. So thanks for having us on.
Oh, thank you.
It was awesome. So we are kicking off in our series, our dining episodes, which a lot of our listeners have been asking for. So wanting to know the best places to eat, the best foods that are out there. And in fact, we've done Disney multiple times with Kent and Katie, and we usually go out to California. And so we are starting on the West Coast today out in Anaheim, and we're going to talk about Disneyland because you guys have shown us some great foods. But before we dive into it, we want to thank our subscribers that are out there. If you have not subscribed yet, you can subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen to podcasts or over on YouTube if you want the video format. But we also want to thank our supporters at Patreon. So if you like this podcast, you want to get more of the information about Disney and Universal, the best tips and tricks, please support us over at Patreon. A couple bucks a month goes a long way. And you will get access to our special episodes about butterbeer and about how to go to Disney for almost free through some different credit card promotions that are out there. And it's a great way to save some money. We've in fact used it twice. So that's a tip and trick for you guys out there. If you are not supporting us on Patreon, you can definitely do that. But before we dive into the actual food, because that's why we go to Disney, I don't know about you guys. You guys have shown us some great stuff, but you guys are obviously big Disney fans. So tell me a little bit more about your Disney story. You guys have been a lot. So tell me about your favorite things, why you love Disney, and what it's like taking your family to the Disney parks.
Actually, we started going to Disney as a family, my family, when I was 5. They took each of us kids when we were 5, and then because I'm the oldest, I got to go multiple times. And then when we got married and we had our son, we decided that was something we wanted to start with our family. And Kent, having not really been a Disney family growing up.
The first time I went was when I was 16.
Correct.
And my grandma put me on a bus from Tampa to Orlando by myself. And I walked around the parks by myself. So that was an interesting first time experience. But
yeah, so totally different experiences growing up. So I love Disney and have always loved it. And when I told him, I want to take our kids, he thought I was a little bit crazy. And then when we took our son, who now is 16, for the first time when he was 5, just the joy and the radiance that he had was...
it hooked us. So we were
hooked you. I was already hooked. I was ready to go. It's just something you can't experience. And it was cool when we were younger, but it's even more when you're a parent and you get to watch that through your kids' eyes. So,
sure. We
have been a number of times with both of our kids now.
We were just counting it on this last trip. We were like, how many times?
And I couldn't quite figure out, but we were
it was about
double digits with both of our kids.
9 or 10 times in the last 11 years.
It's quite a few times.
Okay.
Yeah. In any case, it's been a great experience for our family and we love it. And now that our son's going off or a year from college, it's a little weird to think about that we might not be taking him anymore until he's older or he starts his family and then we get to go again.
Sure. So you guys are on par with us. You guys are Disney experts, no question about that. Yeah. You guys have taught us a lot of tips and tricks, especially at Disneyland, because you guys like to frequent California.
Correct.
So you've been to California more than Orlando. So talk to me about that.
It's definitely cheaper for our family to get there just based on where we are.
Fair point.
In Colorado. So it's easier for us to get there. There are several things we like about California better. Weather, obvious proximity, cost. And I think it's where I grew up. So it's the reason I go there is that nostalgia piece because
I think the park's a little easier to navigate too. It's just a little bit smaller and you can move around. I feel it's a little bit cleaner and I like it.
Which is really ironic that you say it feels smaller because Disneyland Park itself, other than the territory that the animals roam at Animal Kingdom, if you exclude that, the actual footprint where the humans are Disneyland is the largest park because of now the Black Spire Outpost.
Oh, interesting.
So it's huge when you compare it to the others. Now,
Maybe it's the location, like the driving distance. I don't have to drive. I can just walk and I can get to both parks, and I'm not spending 40 minutes or an hour the monorail or the park transit just getting place to place.
No, that makes sense. And if you think about it, Disneyland's right across from California Adventure. And in Orlando, they're all spaced out. You've got to get in your car and drive to go back and forth. You can't park hop between them. And you guys enjoy park hopping, right?
We do. We love park hopping.
We've parked up a couple times at Disney World, but it's like a bus. So
then,
like if you stay in property, you're like taking a bus or you can take the monorail, and it's still like a half an hour.
Half hour, 45 minutes between parks, waiting for the bus, getting there. And so I feel like you get more bang for your buck, and you can go for a little bit shorter time to really experience the whole thing in California.
I think the cost too has gone into it. Sometimes we'll find a really good deal and we'll just go on the spur of the moment.
Yep.
Oh, so we've had a couple trips like that where we're like, I don't think we can pass this up. So
yeah, no, that's great advice. So it's definitely less expensive from at least Denver.
Correct.
If you live in Tampa, you can ride a bus and send up by grandma to that park for pretty cheap. But anywhere else in the US, it may be quicker and less expensive to go to California. I know the hotels are usually less expensive. And just the fact that there's 2 parks versus doing 4 parks. So if you're going to get it all in, you're going to try to absorb it all. It's going to cost less usually to go to California than it does to go to Orlando. So that's a difference out there.
And you could take a quick weekend to California and a quick weekend to Florida. I feel like there's so many things to see that it's hard to do a quick weekend.
Yes.
It's a full week.
Yeah. No, very true.
But you don't have to rent a car in California. You could just Uber from the airport and walk to. We try to pick hotels where you can walk to the parks, and it's nice. It seems way convenient.
Yeah.
You can just walk and you get your routine in the morning. So
yeah, we did that actually on our last trip to Disneyland. Is we got one of the hotels that was in close proximity. It was about 3/4 of a mile. So we walked that every morning and every night. And I'll admit, at night, long day.
It's definitely more painful.
Yeah, it was a little bit of walk home, but we didn't have to pay for a car. We didn't have to pay for parking. That was all really nice. It was super convenient. And in fact, the day we got there, we walked and went and did downtown Disney, and it was right there. So, it made it really easy. One thing, and I really want to get your guys' opinion on this, just because normally when I'm doing the podcast, I'm an opinion of one. And now that I've got a couple guests, I want to talk through this. Compare Disneyland Anaheim to Magic Kingdom Orlando, because though they are very similar parks, they are very different. And there are a lot of distinct differences, not only in rides, but in layout, in different lands that you can go through. Obviously, like we said earlier, Disneyland has the Black Spire Outpost for Star Wars now, but they're very different parks, even though they're very similar. So what do you prefer and why?
I prefer Disneyland, but some of that I think is that nostalgia piece.
Okay.
I think because that's where we grew up going.
I think you can feel it in the park itself. Like it has that like feeling of nostalgia. Like you walk by and you're like, that was Walt. Yeah, that was Walt's office, and it just has that not antique-y feel, but it has the feel of that vintage Disney.
The presence of Disney is definitely there. It's strong.
Yeah. So definitely, like you said, Walt's office, it always has the lamp on now that he's passed, which is a really cool feature. So if you've never been to Disneyland, when you go in and you're there in the central circle, right before you go down Main Street, you can see his office, and there's a lamp that's on, which the cast members used to use as indicator of when Walt was in the park. And when he passed, they've left it on ever since. So that is a really cool feature. Castles are very different.
Correct.
Sleeping Beauty versus Cinderella is much smaller in Anaheim than it is out in Orlando. But they do not only the fireworks show, but they also do Fantasmic at Disneyland, which you have to get at Hollywood Studios. And that's just now restarting. It was actually right after we were out there. The next week, they kicked off Fantasmic again. Oh. So we just missed that. But they have both shows. They have Indiana Jones, the ride, which is a great ride if you've never done that. Of course, Magic Kingdom does not have that. I like the format of Space Mountain better at Disneyland because it's the side-by-side. It's a little smoother than the toboggan style out in Orlando. And a lot of other subtle differences. Now,
same with Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain's
yes.
single at Disneyland and then double at Disney World. It'll be interesting to see when they retheme it, if they unify those a little bit differently. But
yeah, great call out. One thing, since we're talking about it, that I actually like about Orlando over Disneyland is Liberty Square. So they have the whole tribute to 1776 and our founding fathers. And of course, that's where the Hall of Presidents is. And that's an interesting show. If you've never seen it, you get to see the history of the presidency. But they've got some great foods there. And we will talk about that on another episode that will be dropping here in a few weeks when we do Magic Kingdom. But that's got its own little flair. And then they tried to tie in the Haunted Mansion to that.
Right.
Where at Disneyland, it's in New Orleans Square, which is a really cool land that Magic Kingdom doesn't have.
Correct.
So there's some little trade-offs between the parks.
Right. Yeah, definitely different. It is a different feel with the Haunted Mansion for sure.
Yeah. Cool. So all of our listeners have wanted to know about what are the best foods to eat at the park? Where are the best places to go? What are the best snacks? And there's no question that Disneyland, being such a large park, so many lands, you've now got Star Wars, you've got everything else. There are a ton of places to eat. And that's why we thought this is the perfect show to bring Katie and Ken on, because like I said, they've shown us and our family some great foods at the parks as well. They are experts when it comes to food over at those parks. And we want to talk through where are the best places to go. So our format for today is we're going to talk first about the top 5 restaurants. And I'm guessing we will have some overlap as we go through it. And then we will go through the top 5 items to eat in the park. And then the last thing we'll do is the top 5 snacks, because there is a ton to eat in the parks and there's a lot of great food out there. And I will throw this disclosure out there. I'm going to put this on all of our food episodes. And that is, by any means, it's impossible for me, it's impossible for the 3 of us to eat at every single restaurant and eat every single meal. Oh. You can't do it unless you live there and you're in the park every single day. And there's too many, and they change them pretty frequently. So whether it's through seasonality or whether it's through a special event, the foods are always changing. So my disclosure is that this is our personal opinion, and it's a good opinion. We've gone to Disney a lot. It is not the perfect opinion, and you can have a different opinion or think that we may have missed some stuff. And if we did, we apologize. It's probably just because we haven't gotten to it yet, just because there's so much to eat. It's impossible for you to do it. But we have covered quite a bit of the park. So I think that we've got a really good list and at least really good idea of what is available in the park. And you guys are going to enjoy this. So without any further ado, we're going to start with our top 5 restaurants, places to eat in the park. And Katie, I'm going to go to you first. What is number 5 place in the park?
I happen to be a creature of habit.
Okay.
And I tend not to branch out very much. But yeah, I would say my top 3 are going to be the ones I eat at the most frequently. I have not eaten at this restaurant since I was a kid, but I remember enjoying it when I was younger. And that was the Plaza Inn. And I think I was trying to look it up because it's been a long time. But I think that's the one where you can get breakfast too.
Okay. And ironically, that is also my number 5.
Do they have the soup and just there too? It's been so long.
Yeah. We've done Plaza Inn. Have you done Plaza Inn as well?
We haven't gone
okay.
as a family.
So we've done Plaza Inn. I've not done it for breakfast. I've not attempted breakfast, but they are very well known for their fried chicken.
Yes.
And their pot roast.
That's what I remember with their fried chicken, but I feel like they had soup too, but
yeah. And let's talk about that for a second. We'll get to actual specific foods here in just a minute. But there are a lot of soup choices throughout the park.
Correct.
And they're all good. I've not had one that was bad or that I thought, I could pass on that one. They've all been something I've enjoyed, and they've all been something that, depending on the weather, and in California, since you don't have the humidity like in Orlando, there are a couple days of the year where it's chillier, especially in those winter months. And soup may be great. Yeah, let's talk about your experience with the Plaza Inn.
I just remember fried chicken is not something we got very often as a family. So I remember when we'd go and we got fried chicken. It was fun. It was a fun experience, and you could sit outside and you could enjoy it, and it was great. And I think we even watched one of the parades go by.
Yep.
So that was a fun memory, and it's not something we've done with our kids. But it was good.
Yeah, the food there's great. It is right off Main Street.
Right.
So you do get the opportunity. You could see a parade. You could see potentially the fireworks show. Now, of course, it goes up so high. I don't know if the ceiling's in the way. We've never attempted to watch a fireworks show from in there. But I've heard, because I've not had the fried chicken, but I've heard the fried chicken's amazing. I've had the pot roast, and the pot roast is very good. Lots of great flavor. And of course, this is your home style type food over there at Disneyland. So Plaza Inn is a great place to go. Definitely deserves to be in our top 5, but much like you and I, we both put it at number 5. So right. It is not the top one, but not a bad choice at all. So if you enjoy those home cooked type meals, Plaza Inn is a great place to start. Kent, did you have a number 5 that was different?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Let's go to number 4. What is your individual's number 4s?
I think I'm only like 3.
Okay. So Katie, we'll go with, and we'll bring in Ken on 3.
We ate at Hungry Bear. So I would put Hungry Bear at number 4.
That's what I was thinking too, because we
did the Fantasmic dining package.
Yep.
And that would be the only reason I tried it. I don't think I would have gone there naturally, except I think it was one of the trips we took with you, actually. We that as a dining package. And I enjoyed their food. Like they had the ribs, which I liked, or the barbecue flavor, which was good.
I thought they were super tasty. Like the amount of food you got, and
it was a good quantity.
And it came in a great package, and it's actually a pretty cool location because you can sit up above and look over and
just watch people. It's a fun. That patio is a great patio, and they even had that one. Is there a patio also underneath as well? So you could be in the shade. I think we chose to sit up top because it was a nice day, but.
Yeah, no, the Hungry Bear is a great place to go. In fact, that was one of the ones I was fighting to get on my list. I didn't have it on my top 5. It was landing at number 6 for me, but it has great food. Now, one thing I think is important to point out to the listeners is every single Disney park, every single one has your hamburgers, has your hot dogs, has your pizza. They all have a pizza place, and they all have chicken nuggets at almost all the restaurants, in fact. If you have picky kids, you're going to find that real easy in the park. Most of what's on my list, and I'm guessing what's on your guys' list, are some of the unique items.
Correct.
That aren't the hamburgers, hot dogs, stuff like that. And Hungry Bear, like you said, has great barbecue. So it's a really good place to go if you like barbecue, if you like those types of things.
And a sit-down place, because there's also that barbecue place, the Bengal barbecue out in Adventureland, where you can get like the turkey leg or whatever, and it has more
kebabs,
a lot of kebabs.
Yeah, so that has that barbecue type, maybe not the barbecue sauce, but flavor of meat is good. But I didn't put that. What'd you put it for number 4?
So number 4 for me is, and not everyone loves it, but it's the Golden Horseshoe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the reason is, so again, this is where you can get some chicken nuggets. You can get fish and chips. A lot of people swear by the fish and chips over at the Golden Horseshoe. The reason I like it is A, it's indoors, so you get out of the heat if it's hot, but B, they do a show. So while you're in there, you'll have the piano guy come out, and they'll have dancers that come out, and it's a good place if you want to just go relax, go sit back for a minute. If your kids are tired, especially if they're going to fall asleep in a stroller, take them into the Golden Horseshoe. You can be entertained for a little bit. They can get their chicken nuggets, you can get fish and chips, and get a lunch with a show. So that's why I picked that one. I will say food quality wise, by far, it's not the best food in the park. In fact, none of the foods from Golden Horseshoe make my top list on food or snacks, but you do get a little show with it. So it's a nice little break from the heat and a little bit of entertainment there.
Perfect.
Let's go to number 3. What are each of your number 3s?
My number 3 would be the Little Red Wagon at the end of Main Street.
Okay.
We're actually right by Plaza Inn with the corn dogs.
Okay.
And I know that's not a sit-down restaurant, but it is. I am not a corn dog person. And I remember the first time we got those and I thought, why are you getting a corn dog? And every time I crave it when we go back, need to have a Disneyland corn dog. So that's my number 3.
Okay.
Not a traditional restaurant.
But the corn dogs are worth it.
I had that as my number 3 too. And I think that's the same thing. And I think that's a tough thing for us too, because we're, like you said, we're the creatures of habit. So when we go, we're thinking about these places we want to go.
Craving it for months.
And we're like, we got to go there.
Yep.
And then you eat and then you're like,
I got to do it.
Yeah, I need another.
And so it's rough. So that's why like the list is limited because we just go to the same places again. But we tried some new stuff the last time.
Yeah. We're the same way. So we're creatures of habit. We rope drop very similar ways every time that we go to Disneyland. And because of that, we're always at the same stopping points for food throughout the day. So what's on my list is a lot of places my family's eaten just because that's where we're at in the park. You guys actually introduced us to the corn dog. And I'll never forget this trip when we went there with you guys. We had heard about the corn dogs. You guys were telling us about the corn dogs. This was in October. Our kids were little. We went for Mickey's Not So Scary Party and we were at Magic Kingdom and we got the corn dog. And I will say it's the best corn dog I've ever had in my life. It is huge. And when you get it, you're like, it's too big for me to even bite into. It's so large, but they're phenomenal. And I've heard nothing but rave reviews from anyone who's ever had it. I've never heard anyone having a negative experience with one.
So I think the unique ambiance too is in this old milk truck, basically, that's on the side there. And so it's off the beaten path a little bit. You walk up, you're ordering out of a little window, almost like a food truck. And then you're seeing them make it. I think that's the cool part for me is they put this huge hot dog on a stick and then you see them hand batter it. and then fry it. And so you're seeing them make it, and then it's so fresh. Like they bring it out and you're like, it's like piping, and and whatever the mixture of the dough that they put on there is just phenomenal. It's almost like a donut.
Yes, very much so.
So it's tasty though.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. I'm sure we'll revisit that here in a few minutes when we talk foods in the park, because that's probably on your guys' top list there. So for me, my top number 3 is the Harbor Galley. And this is kind of like the cart. It's a little off to the side stand over by the Haunted Mansion towards river, towards Tom Sawyer's Island, kind of by where the canoeing is. And in there, they've got, the soup and the bread bowls. Like I said, they've got soup throughout the park, and this is where we love to go. But they also have a lobster roll. And if you get to know my wife and I, we love lobster roll. Now, I will tell you, we are more fans of Connecticut style. So if you are a lobster roll type person and you like lobster rolls, there are 2 types, Connecticut and Maine. And Connecticut's the hot with the butter, and the roll's usually all buttery. The Maine style is usually served cold, and it's like a dressing on it, like a mayonnaise and some other spices in there. And this is a cold Maine style, but it's still really good. So if you like lobster rolls, that Harbor Galley is a great place to go. And the best part about it is because it's tucked away across from the Haunted Mansion down, because you can walk along the water there. Not a lot of people will see it or go there because they just don't think about it as one of the top food places. So the line's usually short. You can get food really quick over there, and it's good. So great place to go as well.
Perfect. And are we going to talk about mobile ordering and how important that has become?
Yes. No, that's perfect. And
at some point, we can finish our top 5. But
okay. Well, maybe is that the I can do this all day tip of the day?
Yes, maybe.
Okay. We'll come back to that towards the end of the episode. But yeah, Harbor Galley's a great place. The corn dog stand cart is also a great place. Let's go to, what is your number 2?
I had a hard time with this one. And I will tell you why I picked this at number 2.
She's going to justify it before she tells it to us.
I'll tell you first. It's actually Blue Bayou.
Okay.
It's my number 2, mostly because of price. I think price point wise, it is definitely more expensive. So while I loved the ambiance, oh my gosh, to sit in Pirates of the Caribbean and to sit there and watch the boats go by and listen to the little crickets chirp and then get the food, which is so fun. It's definitely a dark restaurant, definitely an expensive restaurant. So it's not something we do every time. In fact, it's a pretty special occasion to do that. So I put it in number 2 for that price point bit.
Okay. Love it. Kat, what was your number 2?
Mine's a little different. Mine's one of those new places we tried the last time in Star Wars Land.
That's good.
We actually changed our morning routine. So usually like we'll hit up like a McDonald's or something before we get into the park, and then you eat it as you're going through security and you're ready to go. But last time we went through Star Wars Land, we're like, oh, let's try some different things. And so I think you guys have told us.
Jared recommended
They were like, you got to try the Ronto Roasters.
Yep.
And so we were like, all right, let's get a couple. And I think our whole family was like, wow.
We need more.
Yes.
The breakfast Ronto Roasters were unbelievable. So we changed our morning routine to go get those in the morning.
Yeah. No, love it. And it's called, I believe the restaurant's called Ronto Roasters.
It is.
And it is right in the heart of Black Spire Outpost out there in the middle of the Star Wars land. And I have that on my top 5 foods. Other than the roasters, they don't have much other things there. They've got some drinks, a couple other things like that. So it didn't make my top 5 restaurants, but that is by far one of the best items to eat in the entire park. So great call out there. My number 2 is the River Belle Terrace.
Oh, you went full restaurants every time.
Yeah.
We don't sit down as often, I think.
So we never done River Belle Terrace until our last trip out there. And when I was going through looking for reservations, my number 1, I'll go ahead and tell you my number 1 because you already hit it, was Blue Bayou. So we'll come back to that in a minute. But Blue Bayou was already booked out. And I was looking through the different reservations, and we like to try new places. And so River Belle had some options. And so we said, we'll go ahead and try that. I looked at the menu. I said, that sounds great. The food at the River Belle Terrace is amazing. Best food I've had in the park, hands down. Yes. The atmosphere of the restaurant is nothing special.
No.
Okay, so this is just right outside of Pirates of the Caribbean, over by that and Tarzan's Treehouse. It's right on the corner there. You go in, all the cast members are wearing like Little House on the Prairie, the bigger skirt dresses. They've got their hair up, almost like Liberty Square over at Orlando. But all the food is home cooked food. They've got some of the things I wrote down. So they've got a Cuban sandwich. So I love Cuban sandwiches. Their Cuban sandwich is great. The Big Bell sandwich, which is multiple types of meat. on this sandwich and pork and all that. And it's fantastic. My wife loves pimento cheese, and they have a pimento mac and cheese with pulled pork on top. And it is one of the best things I've eaten at the park ever. So that's what made me put this at number 2, is just because of the food. The atmosphere is nothing special. But if you want the best food in the park, River Belle Terrace is your place to go. It has better food than Blue Bayou or some of the other restaurants that we've been talking about, and a lot of choices on the menu, which actually I like.
And I think Blue Bayou doesn't have as many choices.
Agreed.
They're just more limited.
Yes, very much agreed. So let's go to, what is your opinion, the best place to eat in the entire park?
Cafe Orleans.
Cafe Orleans.
Okay. Tell me about Cafe Orleans.
I would say they have one of my favorite food choices, which is the Monte Cristo, and they have two different varieties. And then they have pommes frites with it, which is like a garlic Parmesan.
French fries that are
decadent French. Is so good. I love in the summertime or in the springtime when you can sit on the patio and you can watch everybody walking by.
But I think, like you said about some of the other restaurants, there's an inside piece. So when you're tired and you need a place for maybe your kid to sleep or something, you can.
Pretty sure we had our daughter take a nap when we were there with you one time.
Like all the kids just crash and you just sit there, and it's a nice place to watch people and relax.
Yeah. That's Cafe Orleans is my favorite. Although they are limited in their menu. Their menu is definitely a French menu.
French onion soup.
Yeah. Did you try that?
No, I did not.
I didn't try that either. That's not my favorite kind of soup. It looked good if you like French onion soup.
But the Monte Cristo is like hands down like one of the wow.
Again, creature of habit. I will book a reservation there every time.
Yeah.
What's wild is I think it's the same fry, whatever that material is that they fry it in. The dough.
The same batter, right?
As the corn dog.
Oh, it's got to be.
And so it's just, there's, like you said, there's a cheese one with multiple cheeses fried. And then you have the powdered sugar, and then they give you like a raspberry jam or jelly, and it's just all mixed together. It's like savory and sweet and crunchy, and
yeah, it's phenomenal. I'll say, like the corn dog, same trip, like corn dog. We'd never had the corn dog. We had never had the Monte Cristo, and you guys were raving about it before we went, and we had the chance to try it with you guys. And I will say it was probably one of the best things I've ever eaten at any Disney park ever. Of course, when you go online and you go to search Disney restaurants and stuff, the Monte Cristo is going to come up to the top of the list on every single list that's out there. It is by far one of the best things in the park. I will say what's important to call out is you guys had told us about it, and we went on a trip without you guys. The Cafe Orleans is right next to the French Market.
Yes.
And that can be very confusing for people because you're in that part of the park. So you're between Pirates of the Caribbean and the Haunted Mansion. You look and pull up your map, you will see that little dining icon, and there's actually two there. And the French Market's the outdoor side that's towards the train station, and Cafe Orleans is on the inside of it over towards the New Orleans Square. But they are right there next to each other, and it's real easy to mistake one for the other.
Right.
And when you see the French Market outside and all the people eating, you think, oh, that must be it because I see everyone eating. And you go over there, they do not have the Monte Cristo.
Nope.
And so that was the mistake we made. We're like, oh, we're going to go try this Monte Cristo. And we went into the French Market and it wasn't there. We really didn't realize that there's a whole separate indoor restaurant right next door that is Cafe Orleans that has this Monte Cristo that's phenomenal. So great call out there. My number one was your number two is Blue Bayou. And like you said, it's the food's good. One of the food items is on my top 5 list, but it's the ambiance. You're sitting in the Pirates of the Caribbean. Like you said, you can hear the crickets chirping. It's in the bayou portion of the ride. If you're close to the water, you can hear the guy strumming on the guitar, the slow version of Old Susanna. And you have the little fireflies out there on the ride, and it's dark. It's a nice romantic escape, and it's air conditioned.
Yeah.
It's out of the sun. It is a great place to go, and it is 100% booked up. So in fact, this is probably one of the toughest reservations to get in the park is at Blue Bayou. You definitely want to log in early, which is 60 days in advance of your trip. If you are staying on site, you do get the whole duration of your trip from day one, that is 60 days out to book. So that's when I would recommend booking the Blue Bayou. If you've been there before, it's amazing. Like Katie said, it is more expensive. So if you've got a large family, it is going to cost you a little bit more than most of these other places, but it is a really cool atmosphere to eat dinner in. And what's sad is it's not huge.
No, it's pretty small inside.
And tight.
Yeah. They've got you packed in there. Yes.
Yeah.
So one of our experiences this last summer, and we'll talk about it on one of our future episodes when we go to Epcot, is Space 220. So Steph and I got to do Space 220 with Daphne. And that was what surprised me going into there, was how small the restaurant was. And they didn't have a lot of tables, which is why it's so hard to get reservations there, where some of these restaurants have tons and tons of room. And in fact, one of the ones we'll talk about at Animal Kingdom has more seating out behind it than probably any other place in any Disney park, where you could have hundreds and hundreds of people out there eating at the same time, where some of these restaurants are tight. You have to get reservations and they're tough to get.
I think a cool thing too to bring up is the Disney detail. So like when you go to these parks and you go through them a lot, we look for little things too. And so one of the things we like to do is like hidden Mickeys and some other things that maybe you can talk about on a different podcast. I think one of those little things in Blue Bayou that you see, or if you notice it, but if you're sitting there and you're looking up top, there's a shooting star that goes off. And so it's like little LED lights that like shimmer off and go away. And so you only see that every couple minutes or something. We were waiting around for, we got to see where that went again.
No, that's really cool. I didn't know that.
Have a cool little deal in Blue Bayou, because I think the last time we ate there, we were like, is that just a shooting star?
Yeah.
And because it's domed up top to make it look like you're outside.
Yeah. No, their attention to detail at Disney's phenomenal. Yeah, exactly. Great call out. And we should do an episode on all the secrets, all the hidden Mickeys and all that. So great call out there, Kent. Let's go now to the top 5 foods. So the actual food items you can eat in the park. And these may be in the restaurants. They may be a quick service. We won't count snacks yet. I'm sure some of them may overlap depending on where you go. But let's go with the top foods. So Katie and Kent, individually, what are your top 5 or your number 5 food?
I don't know that I have 5. Can I do you want me just to name?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like the best?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's go through them.
It depends on the day. The Monte Cristo sandwiches I mentioned, the corn dog, the breakfast Ronto roaster. And legit, I think that's all I eat.
Yeah, I think that's a tough thing for us. We just kind of like snack and stuff here and there. The pommes frites to it.
Yeah, but with the Monte Cristo.
With the Monte Cristo. But just little things. So I think they blend with the snacks because we just eat
all day long.
That's what we do. That's why I love it. That's why I love it.
Blends all
I'm
together.
just a fat kid over here, just living in heaven when we go to Disney.
I mean, I've had other foods that were good. Like the fried chicken, I remember being good, but I haven't had it in years. The barbecue was good. But if I'm going to choose to go to Disney and I'm going to eat a food, and I could be at the park for 3 days and I may eat the same 3 things.
Oh, no, fair enough. Fair enough.
So it would be those 3 items.
Monte Cristo, the Ronto, and the corn dog.
Correct.
Okay.
The breakfast Ronto. I've not tried the lunch one, but...
we're not talking about snacks though yet.
Yeah, we're not to snacks yet. So
you would call the Ronto roast a snack?
No,
you're saying I snacks.
We're not talking about those yet, but I think I would be in the same category because we love and that's what we look forward to, and we just keep going back to those things unless we get like recommendations of got to go eat these.
So now we may need to down and try some of the other restaurants.
Yep.
Like I said,
no, definitely.
Just haven't done those.
So my top 5, I had a tough time coming up with 5, and so I cheated on my number 1. So I apologize to our listeners. I did cheat on number 1, but my number 5 is corn chowder bread bowl over at the French Market. Like I said, there are soups everywhere, and French Market, Harbor Galley, I think Cafe Orleans has one. There's bread bowls everywhere.
Yes.
There's actually even a bread bowl place on Main Street that only serves bread bowls.
I think it's the Holly Jolly Bakery.
Yes, right over next to it, actually.
Yeah.
During lunch and dinner, they serve bread bowls. So lots of soups out there, but the corn chowder over at the French Market is phenomenal. So my wife loves that one. That one's really good. At Blue Bayou, I've had the chicken jambalaya almost every time, and it's very deceitful. So I'll tell you that right out of the gates. It is chicken, shrimp, and the sausage. So though they call it chicken jambalaya, it has shrimp, so it does have seafood in it, shellfish, and then it does have a sausage. But that has a very strong Creole type taste. It's spicy. It's supposed to be from New Orleans, but that one's very good. My number 3 is the Monte Cristo, just like you guys had. So thank you for bringing that into our lives and introducing us to that sandwich. My number 2 is the Ronto breakfast wrap. Just like you guys said, that is really good. Now, I am going to throw another call out. So I did cheat on this one because I added a drink with it. But at Disneyland, you can get what's called Milaroon juice. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that juice it's a combination of like apple and pear, and it's got some berry stuff.
Oh, is it pink?
It's a pinkish purplish color because of the berry in there. It's a non-alcoholic drink, so this is safe for the whole family. but it is really good. It's a little tart. It's got some sweet to it, but we really enjoyed that. And what made us so sad at Hollywood Studios in Orlando, they don't have the Milaroon juice at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. That is something you can only get at Disneyland. So I do encourage you, if you go to Disneyland, you want to get the Ronto breakfast wrap with the Milaroon juice, because that juice is really good.
New trip.
And then my number one, this is where I cheated, is I put everything at the River Bell Terrace, just because it's all good between the Cuban, the Big Bell sandwich, and the pimento mac and cheese. Everything on that menu is fantastic in there, and it's all really good comfort food. So if you like comfort food, that's a great place to go. But
I think we got to plan another trip.
Yeah.
I need to go back.
We got to go.
Try
some of this new food.
Like Kent said, we're the exact same way. We eat our way through the parks, especially when we go to Epcot. So if you want to go to Epcot, tune into that episode, because we're going to talk a lot about the different places to eat at Epcot.
Good.
Yeah, we like to eat, snack our way through the park. Probably our favorite things, and I know definitely my wife's favorite things, are the snacks in the park, because we just keep going throughout the day. We'll grab a snack, hop in line, grab a snack, hop in line. So let's go through our top 5 snacks, and whether you guys have the same ones or not, we can go through individually. What do you guys think are the best 5 things snack-wise to eat?
Do you want me just to list 5? Or do you want me to start with number 5 and we go through?
Go ahead and list 5.
I think we just throw some out there, like some of the things you have to go eat.
Okay.
The newest one that we've tried that we had not had before were beignets.
Okay.
The Mickey beignets at the Mint Julep Bar.
Uh-huh.
We waited in line. Well, we ordered a line, but we still had to wait.
You still had to wait.
It was like, the line was like
chaotic. It was long.
Just to get
as long as the Haunted Mansion line.
These have to be good.
What we found out is they have different seasonal dips for the beignets. And the one we happened to be at was like a cookie butter dip.
Ooh.
And it was good. It was so good. And they were hot and they were fresh and they were fluffy and they were sugary and
it's like you get this white paper bag.
Messy.
And they give you these hot donuts in there. And I'm pretty sure they pour like powdered sugar in the bag and shake it.
There's a ton in there.
The whole terrace around it is like
sticky.
Yes.
Yeah. Covered in powdered sugar.
But
that would be my top 5.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Okay. So beignets are fantastic at Disneyland. Yes. So great call out there.
Yes. What would you have said?
No, that's a great one. I would say that. I would say you got to get a Dole Whip.
Dole Whip.
Or anything from that stand.
Yep.
There's multiple options there, but I'm a classic Dole Whip person.
Correct. I like the Dole Whip. I had one time that was a blend of a Dole Whip and something pink, to be honest.
So the raspberry? Yes, they've got a raspberry with the Dole Whip, and that one's really good.
I think Aaron had that, and I liked that. That was pretty good.
Or the one with the juice.
Yep. That's my favorite.
Do you like that one the best? It's a little tart to me.
Yeah. So it's a Dole Whip float. So you get both pineapple ice cream in pineapple juice. So if you don't like pineapple, don't do that one because it's very overpowering, but it's very good.
It was good. Anything from that stand is usually pretty good.
And there's always a line there too.
Yeah, always. When they redid it now, so it's back where there used to be an Aladdin meet and greet back behind the Tiki Room. They've taken all that out. And when you go back there now,
it's a big old queue.
Yeah, it's a huge old queue in like a quick service restaurant now that only does Dole Whip, which they actually, if you've been to Magic Kingdom in Orlando, they did a really good job having the Dole Whip station being a queued station over by the Magic Carpets of Aladdin and Adventureland. And they're just pumping people through as quick as they can over there. Disneyland just had the stand over by the Tiki Room and the line would go across the bridge out into Main Street and stuff. And so they did a good idea of taking out the meet and greet with Aladdin and putting it into its own quick service there. Perfect. So that was awesome.
What would you say now?
Our number one go-to throughout the day?
Churros.
That we eat multiple times a day.
A lot of churros.
Churros.
And my wife's favorite.
They're just different. They're different than the churros at Walt Disney World.
Absolutely. I think that's something to do with the humidity.
Maybe.
More than likely.
Or sourcing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something's different. They're just good.
They're so good.
Yep.
Whether you get them with the chocolate dipping sauce or by themselves, I'm a purist. I like them plain.
Okay, so important question. They do come with chocolate dipping sauce. Katie says no. Kat?
No, just plain is good for me.
Okay.
So
I
good.
like it both, but I'm the kind of person, if you're going to give me chocolate sauce, I'm going to try it. I'm going to dip it and pour it on. And Daphne likes it with the chocolate sauce. Steph is a purist, and she says she wants it just plain. And when they're nice and warm and they're fresh, they're phenomenal.
There's nothing better. You guys actually introduced us to the cream cheese pretzels, which we don't get all the time, but
Those
every
are
now and
rich
again,
too.
those are
That's
rich.
Yep. So
Good one. Steph loves those.
yeah, so perfect segue into the top 5 that we've got. Number 1, and there's a lot of controversy on my first one, and this is my number 5, is the milk stand in Galaxy's Edge. So a lot of people, you saw Katie's reaction, do not like the milk stand. There are 2 types of milk. There's the blue milk and the green milk. Me, it's a cold drink. It does have a milk base to it somewhat. It's a cold drink, almost like a type of liquid slushy. Okay?
Yes, it is a frosty.
So it's a good, refreshing drink. The difference is the blue one tastes to me like berry type Skittles, and the green one tastes like lemon lime Skittles. And I've heard people say the green one tastes more
Like soap?
I've not heard soap.
Grass.
I've heard earthy.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard earthy and grass a lot. So the green one is a good one to have. Most people do prefer the blue milk, but to me, I also grew up on Star Wars. So when I had the chance to go check it out and try it, it was very nostalgic for me. And I enjoyed them, and Daphne enjoys it. So we'll get one of each. We'll share them and drink them. Steph does not like them. A lot of our friends don't like them, but I thought it's definitely got to make the top 5 list because I do get it every time.
It was definitely a fun to be able to see it in the movie and then try it in your
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought that was great.
The experience was
It
fun.
was a fun experience.
I
but
wouldn't get the drinking
I don't-
either.
we were like, oh,
And-
okay.
I will say, because we've done a lot of theme park drinks. And in fact, like we talked about earlier, we have a butterbeer recipe. We have tried to replicate a lot of the drinks.
So good.
These are drinks I'm not going to try to replicate. So they're fun, they're good, but I'm not going to try to do it at home. Butterbeer from Universal, I do at home. We are now trying to work on, from our last trip that we just went on, the Apple Blossom Sky from Epcot over in Canada. That thing was phenomenal. So we're working on that. So I put the milk. This one, I cheated again. May or may not be considered a snack. It depends on who you're with. Kind of like a corn dog, may or may not be a snack. I put turkey leg just because it's that classic fare. Go get a turkey leg. They're cooked very well. They're smoked. So when you get it, it's very pink. It's got some great flavor to it, and you can get those at a few places throughout the park. But that was
you see people with them too. You're like,
oh, and they smell so good.
oh,
when
they
they're
smell so great.
that sounds really good right now.
Yeah, so the turkey legs are good. Now, again, I cheated because my number 3 is actually a place, and I have 2 snacks from the same place that we like to get. But down in Pooh's Corner, there's a little bakery in the back behind Splash Mountain, and we like the Tigger Tail, which if you've not had a Tigger Tail, it's basically marshmallow covered in caramel and then encased in almost like a chocolate or like a sugary
something melted.
Yeah,
Like
coating.
give it, yeah.
And then they sprinkle it with orange sugar, then paint chocolate on it to make it look like Tigger's tail. So
We tried one of those with you.
yeah, so we like that one. We think that one's good. But they have churro toffee, and the churro toffee back there is phenomenal. And you can actually get this at a place also in California Adventure. So tune into that episode, which will be next. So next week, we will be releasing our California Adventure episode. And there is a churro toffee shake that we will be talking about with, it's a shake, it's a cinnamon and sugar shake, and they top it with the churro toffee. And it is to die for. So that one's really good. And then Dole Whip, the float that we talked about. But you just mentioned the cream cheese pretzel, and that's my number 1.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is by far the best snack in the park, I think. And in fact, there are 3 versions of the cheese pretzel. And actually, I'm going to call it 4. So you have the cream cheese pretzel, which I think is the best. You have the traditional Mickey pretzel that you can dip in the nacho cheese sauce that you'll see everywhere. So between those, you'll always find the nacho cheese one. That one's everywhere. It's good. But cream cheese one, it's filled on the inside. That one's tougher to find.
Warm and
It's so sweet and savory. It's like cheesecake in a pretzel. Then there is a jalapeno cream cheese pretzel.
Oh.
So it's the exact same one as the cream cheese, but it's got that spicy kick to it. My wife doesn't love jalapeno, so we've only tried that one once. It's good. I like it, but it does have that spicy kick. Our trip that we just went to Orlando, we actually found at the Cheshire Cafe. So this is over by the Teacup right over there. They had a pepper jack cheese pretzel.
Ooh.
So that in between, it still had the same type of cream cheese. It had some good flavor and some spice, but it wasn't hot like jalapeno. So they have a pepper jack one. I'm not sure if it's at Disneyland, so it's not on this list. The cream cheese pretzel, though, to me, best treat in the park. If you can find it, get it. There's a couple stands. I believe there's one in Tomorrowland. There's one
over by It's a Small World.
Yeah, there's a couple out there. Go get yourself a cream cheese pretzel. Those are the best ones in the park.
Super tasty. I'm thoroughly getting hungry right now.
Yeah. We need to go right now.
Talking about all these things. So.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. Katie, you started to mention it earlier. We like to give our listeners a pro tip, what we like to call the I can do this all day tip of the day, which is on my shirt here. This is something that is I don't want to call it an insider's trick, but it's the one thing to remember when you go to the parks. And why don't you talk about mobile ordering and how that will just save everybody a ton of time and headache?
Correct. When they released their app a few years ago, their app has been around a little bit longer, but when they started doing this mobile dining on their app, they allow you to pre-order your food. You can select like you would on a restaurant app, like Chick-fil-A or for something else, where you can order your food ahead of time. You can select it exactly how you want it. And then you can select a window for which you are going to be at that restaurant based on, I would assume, GPS, when you're close by, and it will say, hey, you can click on your food now, and it will start to prepare. So we've done this several times over the last few times we've been there, and it's worked out phenomenally because, like we said, that beignet line was so long, and we happened to be on the Haunted Mansion ride, and as we were walking out, I clicked that I wanted to order my beignets, and I clicked the time I was going to be there, which was about 5 or 10 minutes out from what time it was. And they were ready. They called our number, and we just walked up. We didn't wait in the queue, which was easily longer than 5 or 10 minutes, and our food was ready. And we've done it with quick service food like that. The Alien Pizza Planet over in Tomorrowland has it with pizza and salads. You can pre-order and just walk up and get your food when they call your number. We've done it with several things, and it's been fantastic.
I think it just streamlines your time in the park. So you're not feeling like you're waiting more.
Yeah, you're not waiting in line for food. Yeah, so you can,
it's nice.
and then you can sit down and just enjoy that food. We've really used mobile ordering a lot for drinks, for the snacks are the big one. Like we mobile ordered our Ronto roasters a couple times. We'd be in line.
Before we got to walking through. And
as we're walking through the park,
here you go.
We want it to be ready. So when we get in that long Star Wars Rise of the Resistance line, we're ready. We've got food. We can enjoy that line a little bit better. And it's ready to go when we walk up. We've really enjoyed that mobile ordering. It saves us a lot of time.
Yes. And to your point, it's great to multitask when you're in the park, meaning if I'm already waiting in line for a ride and I know I'm getting hungry, now's the right time. Pull it up on your mobile app.
Correct.
Take a look at what's around you. Like you said, a lot of the quick service, the snack carts, stuff like that have mobile ordering. And you can go to your whole family and say, what do you want? And let them kind of scroll through, read everything, what they want. Honestly, and this is a really good tip, there are a lot of food items in the park I was completely unaware of.
Correct.
Until I am on the mobile order in line, and because we know about the Monte Cristo, we know about the corn dog. And when I'm sitting there going, okay, I'm going to get a Monte Cristo. When I scroll down, that's actually how we found the Mila Rune juice over at Ronto Roasters, is we were doing a mobile order and I was going down to get something to drink and it popped up as one of the options. And I'm like, what's this? I'd never looked for anything else other than a soft drink or water. So I see that and I'm like, that sounds really good. I'm going to try that. And it was phenomenal. Over at Magic Kingdom in Orlando, I found a kind of a type of root beer float with peanut butter chips on it over at Pecos Bill. And that's how I found it, is through the mobile order app and looking at the menu there, not even into the restaurant.
And the pictures are nice because it shows you pictures.
Yes.
We're maybe easily suggestible, but on that regard.
Visually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does help. And it does list like ingredients and nutrition information. We don't have to worry about allergies in our family. So we just eat. But I imagine if you were concerned about what was going into your food or you were following that would be a helpful thing to look at.
Yep.
Because you can pull that up on that.
Well, that's a great call because we actually have friends that worry about allergies, and we're going to have them on the episode where we're going to talk about allergies in the parks and how do you navigate that. And the mobile ordering is one way to do it. But like you said, you can create your order, you can set your window, and then when you go over to go get it, you can just click I'm here. And Disney actually has started to push people this way. When you go into the quick service restaurants where they might have 5 or 6 windows, they're now up to 3 and 4 windows that are saying mobile order pickup.
Yes.
And the others are where the people are lined up to do their order. And like you said, the line could be longer than some of the rides.
Yes.
And so you can just skip it. And in fact, we've even had times where we've said, it's time to eat. You know, we're done with this ride, but we want to get something to eat. We will go find a table. We'll go sit down at the table, decide what we want instead of waiting in line. We'll order, and it's quicker than waiting in line.
Yes.
So we're relaxing. We're getting a chance to take a break, get those orders in, and then just go pick it up and come back and eat.
Yeah. We've done it where we're in line and do it and just hit I'm here.
Yep.
As soon as it comes into view. And
I'm sure it's way more efficient from their standpoints, like the logistics of the park too. So it probably just helps everything out.
Yeah, it's got to be. So great call out. That's a great tip. And so please try to use those apps and those tools while you're in line. Like I said, kill two birds with one stone, multitask a little bit. It's going to save you time in the park, and it's going to help you enjoy your day more. And you're going to get to try a whole bunch of new foods or drinks that you may not have thought of, because all of a sudden you see something that you didn't know was there, and you get an opportunity to try something new.
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for being on the show today. This is awesome. Kat said, I'm hungry. I want to go get on a plane right now and get out there to California. We are in Denver today.
Yep.
And so we're recording this from Denver. Our next trip is going to be a few weeks out at least, but we will definitely get back out there and try it again. But this is our first episode. This is our starting point of the restaurant ones. Next, like I said, we'll go to California Adventure. We're going to cover downtown Disney. We are going to go up to Universal Studios before we hop out east to the East Coast, and then go through all those parks out there as well. So great series. And then we'll wrap up talking about the allergies in the parks and how to navigate with all that. So lots of great food to talk about. So definitely click that subscribe button and tune into us. We drop episodes every Tuesday morning. And so those can be in your inbox when you wake up on Tuesday, and you can celebrate and think about your next Disney trip, just like we did here, and get excited for that and start planning it. So thank you guys. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.